Hola, Minasan! Welcome back for another round of deck analytics. How y'all doing today? Y'all doing good today? Of course you're doing good today. Well, no, you're not really doing good today because you're actually all angry, up in arms over Nadu. I've seen the YouTube comments. There's some who appreciate the card, but there's a lot of people who are typing up saying, "I will not play anybody in a commander pod that plays Nadu. If I shouldn't play Nadu, I'm gonna walk away." Like drama, drama, magic drama. So I made myself a Nadu deck. Yes, yes. I got that. I got it from a pool. You could check out my Modern Horizons 3 unboxing, and you'll see me pull out Nadu among with a whole bunch of other cool cards that I was able to incorporate into my commander decks. So over the weekend, I built myself a Nadu commander deck. It's pretty much all set. And I'm still and I'm kind of having an ethical debate. It's like one of those Star Trek ethical debates. Be like, Mr. Spock, is it right of us to take the life of this giant space whale? Is it right for me to play this broken deck and annihilate everybody in my pod? I have a lot of questions regarding Nadu, not just Nadu, but Modern Horizons 3 in general, because I do have another card that I pulled from Modern Horizons 3, and it's got me scratching my head as to what they were thinking, what these playtesters were thinking. And I wanted to want to open up with that before doing the entire walkthrough. Then after the walkthrough, we'll do the breakdown for analytics to see just how potent this deck is that I built, and deck tech. And then we'll tech the deck. We'll figure out what to do with that deck because I've been having a little debate on at least one card and figure out what else could be interesting to throw in there. But first and foremost, let us start with Nadu itself. Here is Nadu. Here's my Nadu card. That's Nadu. And Nadu, Winged Wisdom is 1 mana, 1 green, 1 blue. Legendary creature, bird, wizard. Flying. Creatures you control have, whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. 3/4 creature. Now, this is a problem. First of all, this is better explore. Let's start with the fact that this ability is a better explore. But also, more than that, it's got a freaking sliver ability. It has sliver explore. This is something I would expect in a sliver. Honestly, this type of ability is something I would expect in a sliver. In a sliver among slivers, it would say slivers you control have and this effect here. To me, what makes sense because then it's restricted to slivers. People will be even more angry with slivers, but at least it's focused on slivers. But here's the thing: it's got the most strongest explore. This is like explore without the drawback. If it's a land card, put it onto your hand. Otherwise, put it into your put it in the battlefield, and it goes into the battlefield untapped. It doesn't even go into the field tapped. The land card goes in untapped. Then, and if it's not it, then it goes directly into your hand. Explorer says that if the card you pull is a land card, it goes into play tapped. But if it's not a land, you can either discard it or return it to the top of your deck. That's what makes Explorer very balanced, despite what Amalia does. But the fact that not only does it do that better than Explore, but it also can be done twice. This ability triggers twice is very nasty, to say the least. This is a very, very nasty card. And like I said, the fact that that a bird wizard instead of a sliver is the one that gives creatures you control this ability is very disturbing. This really goes against design here, you know, because this is not something you give to any creature type. This is something you would give to a sliver, hands down. And if it was given to a sliver, be understand, saying it'll be understandable with probably, there'll be there's ways around slivers and everything. But why they did this, giving him a 4 toughness, they gave him a 4 toughness. They gave him 3 mana. That's 1 mana, green and a blue. This is and allow all creatures. This is not a good designed card. This is the type of card Mark Rosewater avoids at all costs. All right, this is the one that goes into scales and it hits the 10, and it goes on the 10 to make sure something like this never gets reprinted again. Why did they create this? Why did they create this? I don't know. I'm sure when they looked at it, they thought that's a great idea on paper, and we see it here on paper. It's terrible. We saw it in practice. I personally saw it when I was running my Savage Strikers event in Somerville, New Jersey at the Retro Lotus game store. They were playing the manager there, the main manager, the store owner, was showing the Pro Tour, and we saw the Nadu decks go crazy. Like, we were seeing a whole bunch of Nadu decks. Let me put it this way. I saw one match where someone played Nadu. The score was 18-17, 18 life to 17 life, and the person could see that the second Nadu and Shuko came out, just like that. Did not even bother. Like, it just stopped at 18 life and 17 life. That's bad. That is terrible. No game should ever end like that. Honestly, no game should ever end like that in that manner. And I'm with the agreement that a card like this should be banned. And until it gets banned, I'm gonna play with this. Of course, it's not every day I get a Power 9 level type of card. That can bring out the winters that Mark Rosewater talks about. But once it gets banned, it's not gonna bother me one bit. I'll just put that to the side because I got Tatiava, and I could use her as a commander for green blue, no problem, no problem at all. But but yeah, once I do the walkthrough and give you a good firm understanding of how this deck runs, yeah. Is there a way to fix this card? Not really. They'll have to create another Nadu. If they want to use this ability again. If they want to use this ability again with Nadu, let's say Winged Experience. Nadu Winged Experience. Here's what I would do. I would make him 3 mana, a green and a blue. He could still do the creatures you control. He could still have this, but here's what it would do. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell ability, pay 1 generic mana and reveal the top card of your library. And you get through the whole thing. And the ability triggers only once per turn. And his toughness would be 2. I wouldn't make it 3. I would let Shock go right on in and hit it. Get killed by Shock easy. And there you go. So it'll cost you 5 to play this card. 5 to play this card. You'll have to play 1 mana. Oh, and most importantly, another thing I would say is if it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped. That's the other thing I would put in. Put it onto the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only once. So here's how we read. Nadu Winged Experience. 3 mana, a green and a blue. Legendary creature, bird, wizard, flying. Creatures you control have. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, pay 1 mana, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only once each turn. Nadu's a 3/2 creature. There you go. Balanced. Balanced. Saying this makes Urzatron. It'll be in favor of Urzatron. For one thing. Another is that even if you spam it, every single land you put in there will be coming to play tapped, which means you have to wait a whole turn, a whole round in Commander, or a whole turn in Modern in order to be able to untap all the lands and do it again. Scoot won't run rampant. Because every time you drop a land, it's always coming into play tapped, and Scoot can get wiped out. Most importantly, Shock's shocks can take it out. You know, saying it's just a quick two damage shock can kill Nadu off very quickly. So that's there's the balance right there. I don't know why they didn't go with that. I don't understand. You know, everybody was screaming. I remember everybody at Retro Games was like, "Oh my gosh, the Eldrazi, the Eldrazi, the Eldrazi." No, it was not the Eldrazi we had to fear. It was the bird. Bird. Bird's the word. So let's contrast this with another card here, and that is this one here, Skoa Ember Mage. Now, when I pulled this, and I pulled two of these, it's a legendary creature, common, 4 mana to 2 red, legendary creature, goblin wizard. When Skoa Ember Mage enters the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to any target. Grandeur. Discard another card named Skoa Ember Mage. Sacrifice 2 mountains. Skoa deals 4 damage to any target. 4/4 creature. This is a terrible card. First of all, if you're playing Commander format, it's a waste because you need other Skoas for modern. I don't see how this is a very good card for modern. You gotta have 4 of these. They're legendary, so the legend rules kick in. So you can't really put 2 out. You're getting rid of Skoa Ember Mage from your hand, and you're sacrificing 2 mountains just to do 4 damage. You could lightning bolt for 1 mana and do 3 damage. Or for 2 mana, you could shock twice. It makes no sense to me. Or if you have the ability and means of dropping 4 deserts, that's 4 free damage you just did without ever having to spend mana, without having to spend any mana. And if done right, and they come into play untapped, you can actually tap those 4 mana. And the fact that it's cost 6 mana total, 4 mana and 2 red, this is very ridiculous. And so this is why I'm questioning, because nobody, I can't really. I mean, maybe it's doable for modern, but for Commander, it's a waste, an absolute waste, because you'll never get to do Grandeur because you need 4 in the deck, and Commander is singleton. With modern, that's too much resources, and unless you have some means of saying deal damage to your opponent when you're discarding cards or lands or something, sacrificing lands, it's very, very, very specific. It's very, very specific, Titan specific. Felix Five Boots has a little bit more flexibility with his ability, despite how specific his ability is in what it's looking for. Because there's plenty of creatures out there that actually do damage to your opponent and triggers on that. Skoa, I don't see. And I don't know how many cards legitimately out there in red, if you make this your commander, let alone your whatever you pair it up with another color that can really exploit this grandeur ability. And so, yeah, this is the question I'm asking. Between Skoa and Nadu, a card that is being played 90%, and a card that is not going to see in in a bunch of decks. What in the world are the playtesters doing? Are they not thinking through how these cards work when they're in decks? You know, not just any type of deck. You know, saying command. I don't know, command. You know, the main commander aside. Commander is kind of like a side quest kind of thing. Their official ones like Legacy and Modern. What were they thinking when they were doing these decks? When they were playtesting these, did they not see what it's done? You know what I'm saying? What they do. A hard to play card, and an overly powered, easy to play card. Not very good, especially for a set that's supposed to be about the modern format and giving players, some access to some of the more older cards. Like they brought back the diamonds, the Sky Diamond, the Emerald Diamond, the Moss Diamond, Sky Diamond, those ones, Charcoal Diamond. You know what I'm saying? They brought back a lot of the older cards, updated to modern, and then they create these new ones, and it's horrible. It's horrible. I'm very I'm very like there's no sense of quality control is what I'm saying here. You know what I'm saying? I feel like there's no sense of quality control. I don't think I don't know if they're phoning it in or what it is or what they thought. I'm not sure. What I do know, what I do know is that people are not happy with it. You know, they're not happy with some of these cards. With these two, well, not so much Skoa, but they're definitely not happy with Nadu, and it's totally understandable. Skoa, you know, from a game design perspective, I'm like, why? Why'd you make this? So, you know, comment down below what you think of Skoa, Ember Mage, and of course Nadu. If you want my opinion, I'm okay with Nadu getting banned. If it's not banned, I'm gonna keep on playing it. But if it's banned, I'm not gonna cry, you know, over it. I understand because when you see what I've done with this deck and I explain what this deck done, I have a feeling I'm probably only ever going to play it once. Play it ever once unless everyone in the pod decides to play broke cards. If they play broke cards, I'll play Nadu, but I'll probably only do it once, and that's it. It's gonna sit and collect dust in my deck list. So let's do the walkthrough. Let me walk you through my Nadu Winged Wisdom deck. Here we go. All right. So here's Nadu Winged Wisdom. So just to remind those of you who might be who might have skipped everything and tuned into here, the commander is Nadu Winged Wisdom. 1 mana, a green and a blue. Legendary creature, bird wizard, flying. Creatures you control have. Whenever this creature becomes the target of a spell or ability, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, put it into your hand. This ability triggers only twice each turn. 3/4 creature. Very, very, very broke. Lands. We got 10 forests and 10 islands. Going in with 10 forests and 10 islands. Okay. As for dual lands, I had 10 green blue dual lands, but I took one out because I needed it for my Okagachi deck. It's gonna be exciting when you check out Okagachi. I'm finally gonna get my spirit deck going. This is Lush Oasis Desert. Lush Oasis enters the battlefield tap. Oasis enters the battlefield. It deals 1 damage to target opponent. Tap to add green or blue. Vine Glimmer Snarl. As Snarl enters the battlefield, you may reveal a forest or island card from your hand. If you don't, Snarl enters the battlefield tap. Tap for green or blue. Yavimaya Coast. Tap for colorless mana. Tap for green or blue. Yavimaya Coast deals 1 damage to you. Simic Guildgate. Guildgate enters the battlefield tap. Tap to add green or blue. Thornwood Falls. Falls enters the battlefield tap. When Falls enters the battlefield, you gain 1 life. Tap to add green or blue. Temple of Mystery. Mystery enters the battlefield tap. When Mystery enters the battlefield, scry 1. Tap to add green or blue. Quandrix Campus. Campus enters the battlefield tap. Tap to add green or blue. 4 mana in the tap. Scry 1. Lumbering Falls. Falls into the battlefield tapped. Tap to add green or blue. For 2 mana, green and a blue, Lumbering Falls becomes a 3/3 green and blue elemental creature with hexproof until end of turn. It's still a land. Dreamroot Cascade. Cascade enters the battlefield tapped unless you control 2 or more other lands. Tap to add green or blue. Commander Tower. Everyone's favorite staple. Tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Nesting Grounds. Nesting Grounds. There we go. Tap to add colorless mana. For 1 mana, tap. Move a counter from target permanent you control onto another target permanent. Activate only as a sorcery. So then that's any counter. It's not just +1/+1 counters. So like for example, if I had Nature's Blessing, which gives me a counter for banding and vigilance counters, those can be moved. So it's any type of counter. I think poison counters also count and can be moved, which is very interesting. You can move the poison counters around. I think. Yeah, the toxic counters on creatures. Temple of the False God. Tap to add 2 colorless mana. Activate only if you control 5 or more lands. Ancient Tomb. Tap to add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Ancient Tomb deals 2 damage to you. Gotta love that old school saying there. Add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool. Urzatron, everyone's favorite. Hard to make Tron. Urza's Mine. Tap to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. If you control Urza's Mine, Urza's Tower, and Urza's Power Plant, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool instead of 1. Urza's Tower. Tap to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. If you control Urza's Mine, Urza's Tower, and Urza's Power Plant, add 3 colorless mana to your mana pool instead of 1. And Urza's Power Plant. Tap to add 1 colorless mana to your mana pool. If you control Urza's Mine, Urza's Tower, and Urza's Power Plant, add 2 colorless mana to your mana pool instead of 1. So, here's where the fun begins. Here's where the fun of this deck begins. Hydras. Rampant Rejuvenator. 3 mana and a green. Plant Hydra. Rejuvenator enters the battlefield with 2+1/+1 counters on it. When Rejuvenator dies, search your library for up to X basic land cards, where X is Rampant Rejuvenator's power. Put them onto the battlefield, untapped, then shuffle. Apex Devastator, 8 mana, 2 green. Chimera Hydra, Cascade, 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 Cascade. When you cast this spell, exile from the top of your library until you exile a non-land card that costs less. You may cast it without paying its mana cost. Put the exiled card on the bottom in a random order. Multiple instances of Cascade each trigger separately. 10/10 creature. Whip Tongue Hydra, 5 mana and a green. Lizard Hydra, Reach. When Whip Tongue Hydra enters the battlefield, destroy all creatures with flying. Put a +1/+1 counter on Whip Tongue Hydra for each creature destroyed this way. 4/4. Hooded Hydra, X mana and 2 green. Snake Hydra. Hooded Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. When Hydra dies, create a 1/1 green snake creature token for each +1/+1 counter on it. Morph, 3 mana and 2 green. As Hydra is turned face up, put 5 +1/+1 counters on it. 0/0 creature. Hydra Broodmaster, 4 mana and 2 green. Hydra, for X mana, and a green. Monstrosity X. If this creature isn't monstrous, put X +1/+1 counters on it and becomes monstrous. When Broodmaster becomes monstrous, create XX green Hydra creature tokens. 7/7. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo-hoo. 4 mana and 2 green for this. And it creates Hydra creature tokens, man. When it becomes monstrous. That's insane. So not only does it get +1/+1 counters on it, but it creates more Hydras. Hydra Army. Uvenwald Hydra, 4 mana, 2 green. Hydra, Reach. Hydra's power and toughness are each equal to the number of lands you control. When Hydra enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card, put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. ***. Genesis Hydra, X mana and 2 green. Plant Hydra. When you cast this spell, reveal the top X cards of your library. You may put a non-land permanent card with mana value X or less from among them onto the battlefield. Then shuffle the rest into your library. Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. 0/0 creature. Nyxborn Hydra, X mana and a green. Enchantment creature, Hydra. Bestow, X mana and 2 green. If you cast a spell for its bestow clause, it's an aura spell with enchant creature. It becomes a creature again if it's not attached. Reach, Trample. Hydra enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. Enchanted creature gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on Nyxborn Hydra and has Reach and Trample. 0/1 creature. Stump Squall Hydra, X mana and 3 green. Hydra. The Stump Squall Hydra enters the battlefield, distribute X +1/+1 counters among it and any number of commanders. 1/1 creature. Scary. Hydroid Craces. X mana, green and a blue, jellyfish, hydra, beast. When you cast this spell, you gain half X life and draw half X cards, round down each time. Flying, trample, Crisis enters the battlefield with X +1/+1 counters on it. 0/0 creature. Not bad. Not bad at all. Anytime you can be able to draw mass amounts of cards is crazy. Ant Queen. 3 mana and 2 green. Insect. For 1 mana and green, put a 1/1 green insect creature token onto the battlefield. Symbiotic Worm, 5 mana and 3 green. Worm. When Worm is put into a graveyard from play, put 7 1/1 green insect creature tokens into play. Arasta of the Endless Web, 2 mana and 2 green. Legendary enchantment creature. Spider. Reach. Whenever an opponent casts an instant or sorcery spell, create a 1/2 green spider creature token with reach. 3/5 creature. Symbiotic Worm is 7/7. Dream Pod Druid, 1 mana and a green. Human Druid. At the beginning of each upkeep, if Druid is enchanted, create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token. It's a 2/2 creature. Hornet Queen. 4 mana and 3 green. Insect. Flying. Death Touch. When Queen enters the battlefield, create 4 1/1 green insect creature tokens with flying and death touch. 2/2 creature. Ascendant Acolyte. 4 mana and a green. Human Monk. When an Acolyte enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter. I'm saying when. Correction. Acolyte enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it for each +1/+1 counter among other creatures you control. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of +1/+1 counters on Acolyte. 1/1 creature. What a nasty little monk he is. Killer Bees, everyone's favorite bees. The Nicolas Cage card. 1 mana, 2 green, bees, flying, tap 1 green. +1, not tap 1 green, it's just 1 green. For 1 green, +1/+1 until the end of turn, 0/1 creature. Quirion Elves, 1 mana and a green. Elves. When you play Quirion Elves, choose a color. Tap to add 1 mana of the chosen color to your mana pool. Play this ability as a mana source. Tap to add 1 green to your mana pool. Play this ability as a mana source. Llanowar Elves. 1 green. Elf. Tap to add 1 green to your mana pool. Orochi Sustainer. 1 green. Snake Shaman. Tap to add 1 green to your mana pool. 1/2 creature. Drake Hatchling. Drake Hatchling, 2 mana and a blue. Drake, flying, tap 1 blue. Drake Hatchling gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Play this ability only once each turn. 1/3 creature. Azamate. I can never pronounce it. Azamate Drake. 2 mana and a blue. Drake, flying, tap for 1 blue. +1/+0 until end of turn. You cannot spend more than 1 blue in this way each turn. 1/3 creature. Manta Riders. Blue. 1 blue. To cast. Merfolk. 1 blue. Manta Riders gain flying until end of turn. 1/1 creature. Killer Whale. 3 mana and 2 blue. Whale. Blue. For 1 blue. Killer Whale gains flying until end of turn. 3/5 creature. Whip-Tongue Frog. 2 mana and a blue. Frog. For 1 blue, Whip-Tongue Frog gains flying until end of turn. Keen Glide Master. 1 mana and a blue. Human Soldier. For 2 mana and a blue, target creature gains flying until end of turn. Mind you, this is multiple use, so you can make a bunch of your creatures have flying. 2/1 creature. Harmattan Ifrit. 2 mana and 2 blue. Ifrit. Flying. For 1 mana and 2 blue, target creature gains flying until end of turn. So just like the Glide Master, you can play this ability multiple times and give multiple creatures flying. It's a 2/2 creature. Mistform Dreamer. 2 mana and a blue. Illusion. Flying. For 1 mana, Dreamer's type becomes the creature type of your choice until end of turn. 2/1 creature. Mistform Wakecaster. 4 mana and a blue. Illusion. Flying. For 1 mana, Mistform Wakecaster's type becomes the creature type of your choice until end of turn. For 2 mana and 2 blue in the tap, choose a creature type. The type of each creature you control becomes that type until end of turn. Mistform Sea Swift. 3 mana and a blue. Illusion. Flying. Tap for 1 mana. Sea Swift's type becomes the creature type of your choice until end of turn. Morph. 1 mana and a blue. You may play this face down as a 2/2 creature for 3 mana. Turn it face up anytime for its morph cost. 3/1 creature. Side Leopard. 1 green. A cat. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, leopard gets +1/+1 until end of turn. 1/1 creature. Scoot Swarm. Oh my gosh, he has it. How dare he play this? While the other side is like, well, it's just another Nadu deck. It ain't a Nadu deck without a Scoot. Scoot Swarm, 2 mana in the green, insect, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If you control 6 or more lands, create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm instead. 1/1 creature. Rampaging Baloths. 4 mana and 2 green, beast, trample, landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may create a 4/4 green beast creature token, 6/6 creature. Avenger of Zendikar, 5 mana and 2 green, elemental. When Avenger of Zendikar enters the battlefield, create a 0/1 green plant creature token for each land you control. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may put a +1/+1 counter on each plant creature you control. 5/5. And mind you, I have plant hydras. Just so you know, I have plant hydras. Tatsiova, Benthic Druid. 3 mana, green and a blue. Legendary creature, Merfolk Druid. Landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life and draw a card. 3/3 creature. Hardened Scales. 1 mana, 1 green. Enchantment. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on the creature you control, that many +1/+1 counters are put on it instead. Primal Vigor, 4 mana in the green, enchantment. If 1 or more tokens will be created, twice that many tokens are created instead. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on it, twice that many +1/+1 counters are put on it on that creature instead. Roaring Earth, 1 mana in the green, enchantment. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature or vehicle you control. Channel, X mana and 2 green, discard Roaring Earth. Put X +1/+1 counters on target land you control. It becomes a 0/0 green spirit creature. With haste, it's still a land. Primal Rage, 1 mana and a green, enchantment. All creatures you control gain trample. Paradox Zone, 4 mana and a green, enchantment. Paradox Zone enters the battlefield with a growth counter on it. At the beginning of your upkeep, double the number of growth counters on Paradox Zone. Then create a 0/0 green and blue fractal creature token. Put X +1/+1 counters on it, where X is the number of growth counters on Paradox Zone. I gotta find my Essex. I don't know. I can't remember where I put Essex in. I think I put that in. I think I put Essex in Felix. So I think I'm gonna move that over to here. It could very well end up being the commander Essex. Could very well be the commander for this deck to replace Nadu. I've been wanting to do Essex, an Essex commander, and this would be a good replacement if Nadu ever gets banned or something. But I'm gonna find him and put him into this deck. I'll elaborate more in the deck tech. Sporal Genesis, 3 mana in the green, enchantment. During your upkeep, you may put a fungus counter on target non-token creature. So just to note, fungus counter, which means I can use nesting ground to move that around a bit. Whenever a creature with a fungus counter on it is put into a graveyard, put a sapperling token into play for each of those fungus counters. Treat these tokens as 1/1 green creatures. When Sporal Genesis leaves play, remove all fungus counters from all creatures. Squirrel Nest, 1 mana and 2 green. Enchantment Aura, enchanted land has tap. Put a 1/1 green squirrel creature token into play. Verdant Embrace, 3 mana and 2 green. Enchantment Aura, enchanted creature. Enchanted creature gets +3/+3 and has, at the beginning of each upkeep, create a 1/1 green sapperling creature token. Naturalize, 1 mana and a green. Instant, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Wear Away, 2 green. Instant Arcane, destroy target artifact or enchantment. Splice onto Arcane, 3 mana and a green. As you play an Arcane spell, you may reveal this card from your hand and pay its splice cost. If you do, add this card's effects to that spell. Levitation, 2 mana and 2 blue. Enchantment, creatures you control have flying. Brainstorm, 1 blue, instant, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order. Fact or Fiction, 3 mana and 2 and a blue, instant, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. An opponent separates those cards into 2 piles. Put 1 pile into your hand, the other into your graveyard. Aetherize, 3 mana and a blue. Instant, return all attacking creatures to their owner's hands. Evacuation, 3 mana and 2 blue. Instant, return all creatures to their owner's hands. Counterspell, 2 blue. Counter target spell. Interrupt, instant. Also, Evacuation and Aetherize are also instants. Just to note. Mana Leak, 1 mana and a blue. Instant, or interrupt. Interrupt. Counter target spell unless this caster pays an additional 3 mana. Cancel, 2 mana, 2 blue. Instant, counter target spell. Shadow of the Second Sun. 4 mana, 2 blue. Enchantment R, enchant player. At the beginning of enchanted player's post-combat main phase, there is an additional beginning phase. After this phase, the end step happens after the added untap, upkeep, and draw steps. Simic Ascendancy. Oh my gosh, that's a nasty combo. Green and blue to cast. Enchantment. 1 mana, green and a blue. Put a +1/+1 counter on target creature you control. Whenever 1 or more +1/+1 counters are put on a creature you control, put that many growth counters on Simic Ascendancy. At the beginning of your upkeep, if a Simic Ascendancy has 20 or more growth counters on it, you win the game. Commander Sphere, 3 mana, artifact, tap. Add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Sacrifice Sphere, draw a card. So Arcane Signet, 2 mana, artifact, tap to add 1 mana of any color in your commander's color identity. Simic Key Rune, 3 mana, artifact, tap to add 1 green or 1 blue to your mana pool. For 1 green, 1 blue, Simic Rune, Key Rune becomes a 2/3 green and blue crab artifact creature with hexproof until end of turn. It can't be the target of spells or abilities your opponent controls. Sol Ring, 1 mana, artifact, tap to add 2 colors mana. Felden's Cane, 1 mana, artifact, tap to reshuffle reshuffle your graveyard into your library. Remove Felden's Cane from the game. It's exiled. Spellbook, 0 mana, artifact, you have no maximum hand size. Shuko. Oh my gosh, yeah, Shuko, no! Shuko, 1 mana, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets +1/+0. Equipped 0. 0 mana, attached to target creature you control. Equipped only as a sorcery. Lightning Greaves. Oh my gosh, he also has the Greaves. No! 2 mana, artifact equipment. Equipped creature gets has Shroud and Haste. Equipped 0. And so that is the walkthrough. It is quite nasty. It is quite nasty. Nadu, this deck is broken with Nadu in it. This deck is broken with Nadu in it. So, what does this deck do? Well, given that Nadu is all about bringing lands out, it's very simple. Bring out all the lands and drop the Hydras. Basically, this is a extraordinarily broke card because if I get Shuko or Lightning Greaves out, that combo is going to run amok for the whole entire turn that I have control of. And yeah, my whole entire mission, playing out the whole entire turn with Nadu, is to get Hydras into my hand, get that Simic Ascendancy, and the Second Sun card out, and just win right there and then. I doubt this is a turn 1 kill card, although that would be freaking shocking if that ever happens. That'll never happen, not in a million years. Too much need of land. But this deck will definitely win the second Shuko comes out, or Lightning Greaves. If I get any of those out, this deck is assured to really win. Getting rid of Nadu will always be key to everybody. They're gonna find a way to keep him out. But all I gotta do is just make sure I have the components together before I put him out. It's going to be pretty crazy. So basically, the principal play here, really, with Nadu is the Hydras. The whole entire point is the Hydras. Um, that's why I got 10 of these in here, because they can generate mana when land is when based on land or other circumstances. But cards like let's see here. See, like for example, Hydroid Crasis, he enters the battlefield of X +1/+1 counters, which is the X cost right here. So with Nadu, if I get 12 lands out, or if I even get Urzatron out, then all I gotta do is just tap the green and the blue, and then tap 10 lands, and he's a 10/10 creature. And if by chance I get Primal Vigor, and if I get Primal Vigor out, then he's gonna come into play with 20 plus a 20/20 creature with 20 +1/+1 counters on it. So that's basically the principal focus of the deck, is to get the Hydras out and slam everybody with Hydras. What happened was that I lucked, and I say it with and I say this with great joy, hands down, with great joy. I came across this card out in the collector's market when I was running around the city, looking for some single cards. I came across this $3. It only costed $3. And when I read it, I immediately thought of Nadu and the deck that I was building. I was like, yeah, I'm taking that. And then as I went through my blue collection, I realized I got this, which I pulled out of Modern Horizons 3. And just so you know that these cards from Modern Horizons 3, I did pull these cards out, and you'll see them in my video. If you go to my Modern Horizons 3 pre-release bundle unboxing, you'll see these cards. You'll see all these cards here. I never bought another Modern Horizon pack ever since, and I never even bought a single, because I was satisfied with what I got because of what I was looking for other decks, like my Felix Five Boots deck and my Kenrith deck. I was satisfied for it and didn't feel the need to buy anymore. So cards like Nadu and Shadow of the Second Sun were just basically bonuses. They were like bonus gets. And the fact that with Nadu, Shadow of the Second Sun, and Simic Ascendancy, we're talking instant win here. The second I start running Nadu's combo off with Shuko or Lightning Greaves or whatever means, and I can and I get these two cards out, Simic Ascendancy and Shadow of the Second Sun, that puts me on the path to victory, because then all I have to make sure is that I get a Hydra, and if I get Primal Vigor with all the land that I have out in the field, thanks to Nadu, say 10, and I tap the 10 to cover the X and the 2 mana to drop the Hydra, Primal Vigor doubles it up to 20. Well, guess what? Simic Ascendancy is going to get 20 growth counters right off the bat on 1. And if I get, and I will be, and because of the way Nadu works, I will most definitely be getting Shadow of the Second Sun in my hand. And since I don't have to worry about the lands coming into play tapped because of Nadu's ability shared across the board, all I gotta do is play Shadow of the Second Sun, and then I'll go right back into a new upkeep phase, in which this will trigger, and I will win right there and then. Yeah, so that's how broke this is. Now, yeah, you know. Now, yes, it is true. It is true that, it's going to take a lot to pull off, but that still doesn't change the fact that it's easy to pull off. It's not really difficult, and I'll tell you why it's not that difficult, because I can still get Scoot Swarm, because Scoot Swarm helps out. Where's Scoot Swarm at? Scoot Swarm, Scoot. Where's Scoot? I just passed Scoot up. Scoot. No. Ant Queen, Arasta. Where's Scoot Swarm? Uh-oh. The Scoot Swarm scooted away, huh? Let's see here. Ant Queen, Symbiotic Dream. Killer Bee. Oh, right. He's in the landfall pile. Yeah, I pulled out whatever landfalls I got, what landfall calls. But yeah, Scoot Swarm can help Nadu get get me the lands that I need to get to where I want to go to. So it's pretty scary. It's pretty scary in this sense here because of all these easy land drops that I'm getting that I got going. Especially with the help of Primal Vigor, and then here's Roaring Earth that can help out, thanks to Nadu. Another thing that I leaned into, of course, is since Scoot Swarm is one character, it's just one creature. I threw in these guys here because they generate creature tokens. So even if I can't get Scoot out, I'll have some backup here with Hornet Queen, Dream Pod Druid, Arasta, Symbiotic Worm, Ant Queen. So I could at least have some tokens like immediately, and I can start running the combo off hard. Another thing that I also threw in, which was very interesting, is the blue creatures. Now, aside from the drakes that can only activate once per turn, Manta Riders, Killer Whale, and Whip-Tongued Frog only gets to go at it once per turn. I don't know how many times I can activate this, because if I can activate it twice, giving it flying twice, yeah, that's kind of broken as well. Because there's nothing really saying that I can't give it flying multiple times. It just replaces each other. But having these two cards here, where I could give my creatures flying and activate Nadu twice over, because I'm targeting creatures. It's also pretty scary. It helps out if I can't get the Lightning Greaves and the Shuko out. Now, the reason why I picked the Mist forms is because they target. It is a targeting ability. It's very cheap. It's only 1 mana each. You know what I'm saying? So I don't have to worry, about being bounded by a color, like for example blue. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I don't have enough blue. Like if I have to tap a blue to bring a card out, and I don't have any blue to tap, well, that's okay. I got green, and I could tap for Mist form and get the ability off. Landfalls are extraordinarily potent for Nadu. Primal Rage and Levitation to be able to get creatures flying and trample, so I can attack, go right into an attack. Paradox Zone, I actually liked it because I could create green-blue fractal creatures. That's why I want to get Essex and throw him in there, because Essex duplicates tokens as well, if I remember correctly. And I do have Essex, and I wanted to play Essex. And I might make him the commander. Here, let me show you Essex. Here we go. This is Essex. Fractal Bloom, legendary creature Fractal. He's 4 mana, a green and a blue. The first time you would create 1 or more tokens during each turn, you may instead choose a creature other than Essex, Fractal Bloom, and create that many tokens that are copies of that creature. So if I really wanted to, let's see here. If I really, really wanted to, Scoot Swarm. So, oh wait, sorry. It says tokens, not tokens, not counters. Create a token. Yeah, so create a token that's a copy of Scoot Swarm instead. The first time you create 1 or more tokens during each of your turns, you may instead choose a creature other than Essex, Fractal Boom, and create that many tokens. So I could pick Scoot Swarm. So what does that mean? Well, let's say the Broodmaster. Let's just say I happen to have Broodmaster becomes monstrous. Saying I get to create XX Hydras. I can always make them Scoot Swarms instead. And then those will start multiplying at every turn. Because they actually become actual copies of the Scoot Swarm card itself. That's why Essex is something that I would go for. So basically, this is a very, very, very broken deck. and and I'm okay with it getting banned if it happens, if and when, whenever. If it gets banned, that's fine. No biggie, because I can always go with Essex Fractal Bloom, or if I want, I can go with Tatiava as alternative. Tatiava is fine. She's just expensive Sithis, but for green and blue, I don't have a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? Switching them out. Switching them out for that, because they're still pretty good cards. I mean, this is still pretty good, especially with the landfall capabilities. 3 mana, green and blue. Expensive, yes. She's a 3/3 though. She comes in with a 3/3, so she's a little bit tough to kill compared to Sithis. Just a little tougher. Takes a lightning bolt, but at least I could gain a life and draw a card, which is a very, very powerful ability. Or I go into Essex Fractal Bloom and just freaking make copies of of other creatures. I mean, shoot. Let's see here. Let me see the Broodmaster. Let me just double check the Broodmaster here. The Broodmaster. Where are you at, Broodmaster? Yeah, see, Broodmaster's not a legendary, so if I wanted to, I could duplicate that. Duplicate the Broodmaster, monstrous, create more XXX Green Hydras. and then have Essex Fractal Bloom turn that into a copy. Make multiple copies of Broodmasters, and then just keep filling out with Broodmasters. Anyway, but that's in the future. That's if Nadu gets crippled. But I will definitely put Essex in there once I go into my Felix deck and dig it out. It's in my Felix deck. Dig that out, swap it. But yeah, that's the walkthrough, and that's what this deck basically will do. It is intended to break break the pod. It is deliberate. It is evil, and I am all for banning it when that time comes. They say it's banned from Commander, banned across everything but Legacy. Sure, okay, no problem. No problem. Was it Legacy or Vintage? Vintage? Well, either or. Either or. I'm fine. I'm fine with that. Whatever Wizards decide to do with the card. For the time being, I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it and have fun with it all the way through. And there we go. So let's go into the analytics and let's learn what I've built here. Find out. Let's see what the heck is going on. What kind of build is this? All right. So let's start with lands. Here we go. Put our commander right here. Right up here. I don't know if you can see that. There we go. Just for now. All right. So let's do the breakdown. We got what I have here is 37 lands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36. So we got 36 lands to start. Okay. Creatures. Creatures, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35 creatures. Okay, we got 35 creatures. Enchantments. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 enchantments. 11 enchantments. How many sorceries do I have? I have 0 sorceries. Instants, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 instants. Artifacts. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 artifacts. And no miscellaneous. So this is definitely a deck designed to be really, really fast. No sorcery speed. Everything is instant or enchantments, which enchantments have quick ability speeds and such. Very interesting. All right. So I believe with regards to mana ability cards, all 36 lands should be mana ability, as they should be, because I need mana abilities to be able to drop the Hydras. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. So these are the regular lands. Lush Oasis. Yeah. This all 35 of them should be mana speed. I should not have any. All 36 should be mana speed. No fetch lands, no nothing, because Nadu already covers that immensely. Among the creatures, let's see what the mana dorks are. Make sure to get as much mana tapping as possible, so that way these Hydras can be heavily exploited. Let's see here. None of these Hydras have mana producing. Just only these guys here, huh? The elves and the shaman. Yeah. Nobody in blue has that capability. Landfall? No. Landfall's just reacting to land here. What about here? I don't think I included any of the enchant lands that tap mana. No, right? Yeah, I didn't do that. Yeah. This is the only enchant land that produces squirrels. Great way to do that. Yeah. So only 3 creatures that have mana abilities. Enchantments, most definitely I don't have any enchantments as confirmed. But the artifacts, I do have artifacts. I got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 artifacts that produces mana. So yeah. In this instance here, for this deck, it's perfectly fine. Honestly, to not have so many mana rocks and mana dorks, because Nadu gets you lands no matter what. No matter what, he gets you lands, and you're pretty much solid. Alright, let's move the lands to the side here. Let's bring Nadu, bring the commander up. So all of these are the lands. We'll spot them right here. Alright. For a deck like this, because I'm using Hydras, Urzadron is definitely a good one to put it in, especially with your ability to fetch out the lands here. We got 3, 3, 2, 3, 1, 1, 4, 4, 5, 2, 2, 3, 2, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 0, 1. Lightning Greaves is 2. That goes there. Okay. Yeah, I left out the Rancor. I wanted to play Rancor because I got those as well. Because they'll always find themselves right back into the hand, no matter what. Another nasty thing. You know what I mean? But I think Bestow, just hit me in the head, but no, I don't think Bestow would be able to do it. Licits would definitely do it. Yeah. If you can untap them, of course. If you can get them untapped. Let's see, this is a 6. We'll put that up there. 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 2, 2, 5, 1, 4, 10. Let me push this here. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Here's 10. 6. That goes over here. X. We'll put that there. 6. Another 6. X. 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 3, 4, 5, 5. That goes here. 5, 6, 7, 8. Right there. 4, 2. Got a lot of 2s here. 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. 5, 3, 3, 3, 1. 5. This might be a very healthy deck, all things considered. You know, 3, 5, 4, 1. But then again, it's on steroids because of the bird. This is a 6, 7, and 5. There we go. So we got one little gap, and that's 9. Let's see here. That's too bad. If I had a 9 casting card in green or blue, that would have been a nice perfect 0 through 10 mana cost right across the board. I should look for that. See if there's a 9 mana casting creature. You know, I'm very curious now. Let me just look that up. Pardon me, if you allow me to indulge. If you allow me to indulge for a second here, I want to see something. Let's see. Blue, mana value 9. Creature. Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, let's see here. Breaching Leviathan. Oh, Drake. It comes into play, reload top 3 cards of your library. Oh yeah, I have this one. Regular Leviathan. Comes into play tapped and doesn't untap during your untap step. At the beginning of your upkeep, you may sacrifice 2 islands. If you do untap Leviathan, it can't attack unless you sacrifice 2 islands. It's a 10/10 creature. Yeah, I have Leviathan. This one here. Let's see. The Unspeakable. Thing from the Deep. From Classic Portal? Oh. Do I... Wait a second. This is Old Portal? The first one? I should have that. The Thing from the Deep. If Thing from the Deep attacks, destroy one of your islands or destroy Thing from the Deep. Whenever Thing from the Deep attacks, sacrifice it unless you sacrifice an island. Interesting. Yeah, I should have Thing from the Deep. I have Portal. That was my first Magic purchase. Portal. Ooh, the Unspeakable. Did I not come across this one? No, right? Champions of Kamigawa. Let's see. Flying Trample. Whenever the Unspeakable deals combat damage to a player, you may return target arcane card from your graveyard to your hand. Useless. Very useless to me. Inkwell Leviathan is actually pretty good. 7/11, you get Shroud, Island Walk, Trample. What is that? In Double Masters? Interesting. What's all these other sets here? So that's in blue. So that's the blue cards. Goes off. Sailor's Bane. Yeah, I do have Leviathan, but the cost is too much, and I should have Thing from the Deep, which is not a bad one. If he attacks, destroy 1 island. So I don't have to attack. It could be just a straight blocker if I want to really be that. What's his creature type, by the way? Leviathan. If I want to be like that. But let's look up green. I'm just curious here. Oh yes, the Crows and Colossus. Don't I have one more of these? I think I got one more of these. I don't know. I'll have to look. Myojin of Life's Web. The Tarask has haste and ward. What set is this from? Oh, Adventures in the Forgotten Realms. Gotcha. Titanoth Rex, Dinosaur Beast, Apex Altasaur. I have that, but it's in my other deck, my Dino deck. Body of Jukai, Arboretum Elemental. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what the greens do, huh? I think I have two of these Crows and Colossus. If I want to really be finicky like that. uh, but yeah, it's pretty fascinating. All right, so we got 1-0 card. Thank you for indulging me on that one. Let's see here. There is. Oh, hold on a second. Not table. Yeah, border properties. No. Let's see. Where's the color at? I keep forgetting where the color is at because you know they don't want to do things normally, and they want to put all these unnecessary steps in Microsoft Word. That's why I like the old Microsoft Word I had. Pictures and shapes. No. Was it not in table properties? Oh, here we go. Is this it? Hey, there we go. Found it. Woo! All right. So, 1 mana cards. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8. We have 8. 8 1 mana cards. Oh. 8 1 mana cards. Okay. 2 manas. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 13. We got 13 2 mana cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13. Okay. We got 13. Okay. Next up is 3 mana cards. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 3 mana cards. Nadu's the commander in this group. Here's 11 with. Here we go. CO. That's where our commander is at. Alright. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 4 mana cards. 8 4 mana cards. Alright. Five mana cards. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9. We have 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Ooh, we got a little lump here. Got ourselves a little lump right here in the mana curve. Rampaging Bailots. Let's see here. We got 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, we got 5 6-mana cards. Okay. We got 1, 2, 7-mana cards. Okay. We have 1 8-mana card. 1 10-mana card. And then the rest are X manas. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 X mana creatures, X mana cards. So let's put that there. X. Wait, what happened here? Should just be X. Let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. There we go. All the way at the far end. So, for the most part, this is a very, very spread out mana curve. Mana curve is definitely spread out immensely. It's a little bit tight between 0 through 4, but then 5 bumps it up and then starts cascading down. If I were to get rid of 5 card mana, I would replace it with Crows and Colossus if I do have that second one. Or maybe just do the Leviathans. Or something like that, and it'll be a little bit more flatter. But the X mana over here is definitely giving rise to the valley. There we go. So, nevertheless, at the very least, there's a good sufficient number of 0 to 4 mana cards. And the rest are compensated by Nadu's crazy ability. So let's go to the power meter. And let's see what type of power we're unleashing onto the public. Alright. Here's 1, 1, 1. Here's 2 power. 2. Here's a 1, a 1. So far there's a lot of 1s happening here. 1s and 2s. We got a 0. Okay. Okay. Let's keep that going. Here's a 3 from Nadu. 3, 2, 3, 0. 3, 2, 3, 1, 5 from the Ant Queen. 6 from the Rampaging Baloths. We got Asterisk from the Overwalled Hydra. I'll try and make some room here. 7 from the Broodmaster. Here's a 4. Oh, okay. Now we gotta make room for 4. Here's oh my gosh, everything's falling apart. You stink, man. I'm gonna subscribe to you because you stink. Here we go. 4, 5, 2, 7, 10, 0, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. So I've got a whole bunch of zeros here. 0 powers. There we go. Alright. Asterisk 0. Whoops. I'm knocking things around. Here we go. Alright. Okay. So, gonna need to create a new row for asterisk over here. There we go. Oh, how convenient. 0, 0. And this is asterisk and asterisk. Because that's what we got one of. We got 1 asterisk. Yellow. And I'll just save myself the trouble here and mark it with blue. Okay. So, so I don't have to repeat that. Next one, let's see here. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 0 powered creatures. Very interesting. Hydras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11. So we got 11 power. Okay. So we shall note that that's 11. Okay. Hornet Queen. Hornet Queen. Such a cool pickup. Hornet Queen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We got 6 2 power. Ah, what are you doing? We got 6 2 power. Okay. Killer Whale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 3 power. Okay. 4 power. We got 1. 1 4 power. And looks like we got 2 5 power. Yeah, 2 5 power. One 6 power, 1 7 power. Oh, 2 7. Okay, so this is a very the power fluctuates a little bit at the top because there's 2 7 power here, and we got a 10 power up here. Okay, so that's interesting. It's very stable between 1 through from 0 through 4. It's stable, then it starts fluctuating from 5 and up. Very interesting. Very interesting. Alright, so I already took care of Uberwald, so I could set that to the side here. Let's deal with toughness. So we got 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 3, 3, 3, 1. Here's 2. Okay, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 2, 1, 5. Put that up there. 3, 5, 1, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 7, 10. And 10. So yeah, there was a fundamental shift with the toughness. A lot of cards moved over from a lot of spots. So here we go. All right, 0 toughness. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 toughness at 0. Okay. Is this a little lighter? No. I don't think I'm ever going to find that specific light blue, huh? What about here? I guess that's close enough. Alright. Alright. Ones. This one's going to be over the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11, 12, 12. Okay. I thought it was going to be more than 12. Yeah, well, it's more than 10, but I was expecting it to be like very, very high up, like 15. Let's mark that. So that's 12. Okay. Let's see. 2 toughness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4. What a drop. From 1 to 4. Wow. That's a big drop. Far bigger drop than imaginable. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 3 toughness. So now it's starting to fluctuate. Let's see here. One, two. We got 2 cards at 4 toughness. Okay. Then we got 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 cards at 5 toughness. Okay. And I believe that's 2. No, only 1 at 6 toughness. All right. 1 at 6 toughness. 2 at 7 toughness. And 1 at 10 toughness. 6, 1, 2, and 1. So, yeah, this is a very chaotic deck. The toughness is very chaotic. Very, very chaotic. It's insane. What it's got going for it. Let's see here. We got resources. It's time for some resources. Let's see here. All right. So, resources. Let's start with draw cards. All right. Let's bring these up. This one. Nope. Let's see. That's a bounce. This one generates. Okay, that one is a top deck. That's a bounce. No, this one is draw. This one creates a creature. This one goes to the graveyard. That creates a creature. Generates mana. Goes to the graveyards. Grows to the graveyards. Let's see. Nope, generates buff. Buff. Mana. Here's another draw. This one is a recover. So that's going to come over here. Nope. Let's see. Search a library for a land card. Alright, that lets you search. Let's see. Search, this one also search. Let's see. Draw cards. Yep, this one draws cards. Create snake counters. Yeah, that generates creatures. You may put non-land permanent, then show up your library. That's a top deck. This modifies, buffs, modifies, buffs, buff, generates mana, generates creatures, generates counters, distributes counters. Buffs. Let's see. Buffs. Generates creatures. Buffs. Creatures. Mana. This lets you draw a card. So that goes there. Modifies. Buffs. Draw creatures. Buffs. Top decks. Generates creatures. Generates creatures and buffs. Generates creatures, buffs. Generates creatures. Generates creatures, and top decks. There we go. So there is not much to logistics here. Draw cards. We got 1, 2, 3, 4. Four cards that draw. 4 cards that gives me the draw ability. Okay. Orange. Next up is search, which is these two. These are the only 2 cards that let me search for lands. That lets me search for anything. Recover is Felon's Cane. That's the only one that lets me recover cards out of the graveyard. And top deck is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I get to look at the top cards and resolve. In terms of destruction to graveyards, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards that goes that sends cards to the graveyards. There we go. There we are. And I don't have any cards that go to exile. Cards that go back to the hand, I have only 2, and I don't have any cards that return to the deck. So I do have a creature wipe, but it goes back to the hand, and I got 5 cards that can destroy creatures. So there's our logistics. This is definitely, I wouldn't say it's unstable, but I wouldn't say it's healthy either. This is unpredictable. It's an unpredictable deck, and it makes a lot of sense because there are so many different ways this deck can win. Because of Nadu creates a lot of unpredictable variables. For example, I can go on the y-axis and focus on bringing out hydras, and I could just get 1 hydra or 2 hydra out and just swing at them with the +10/+10 counters on it. Or if Primal Vigor comes out, I can double that up and hit for 20/20s. Just 2 hydras alone with 20 +1/+1 counters will end everybody basically. You know what I'm saying? I'll end one person systematically each. Or I could go wide on the x let's see, the x-axis is Hydra. The y-axis would be all the generating creatures that I have. Not just the Broodmaster itself, but cards like Arasta of the Endless Web and Scoot Swarm. I can create all these creature tokens, and I can just army out everybody. Or if I wanna stay within the center point of the axis, there's going straight for Simic Ascendancy and the Second Sun card, which will allow me to be very, very technical in getting that instant win with Simic Ascendancy. Let's see here. Where are they at? Let's see here. Scoot Swarm. No, not Scoot Swarm. Where is it at? Where did you go? Here it is. Simic Ascendancy. And you're all the way at the bottom. Yeah. Shadow of the Second Sun. So with these 2 cards, with Nadu's help, would definitely would be the center of the axis of the axes, allowing me a more strategic and tactical approach to the whole thing. So so because of all these fluctuations, it makes perfect sense that it would look this way with the multiple ways of winning. But it's all because of Nadu itself, because Nadu, lets me bring everything out so quickly, and I could bring anything I want, and I could just go about it any way I want. And that's very, very, not only is it broken, but it's very dangerous, because I could just win any way I want. Basically I'm free to win in any stylings that I want, and that's pretty nasty. That's pretty nasty. This is actually way more nasty than my Amalia deck, because my Amalia deck also does the same thing that Nadu does, but it's Explore, and Explore is a lot more restrictive. But the deck also has multiple ways of winning, getting me the win marker, which is pretty crazy. So pretty much not having a lot of mana dorks, enchantment, mana abilities, and mana rocks. It's actually a-okay in terms of using Nadu. Now, if I were to switch out with other cards, switch to Commander, then I'll have to find a way to get more mana rocks, at least maybe 2 more, or try to get some enchantments like Wild Growth to be able to help generate mana, especially if I decide to go with Essex, because Essex is extremely expensive to play. It's a very extremely expensive to play card. Same with Tatiava. So I would need to get more mana generation somehow. Sorceries is completely irrelevant. This is a very, very fast deck, so everything's got to be high speed as possible, or be able to allow me to get high speed. And instance is a good way to go. Enchantments with activation abilities, trigger abilities, and such helps out. Yeah, the power meter, it's stable from 0 to 4. Then it fluctuates a little bit on the power meter, but it makes perfect sense because they're all about heavy swinging. But the toughness meter is very sporadic. It's very chaotic. It's stable from 0 to 2, but then after that, 3 and up, you don't know what kind of defenses I'll probably come out with, especially with the Hydras, because of the fact that they can get X counters, and I can always put 10 in there and nothing can stop. Only a high hitting creature or some kind of spell could get them out of there. Draws, my resources, it's fine. It's okay. I got top deckers, especially with the Cascades. Nadu alone just really does all the heavy work here. Removal, again, it's I do have 2 board wipes, and they go back to the hands, and that's fine. In terms of sending to the graveyard, I got the standard counter spells along with the disenchant style cards, Wear Away and Naturalize, which is more than enough because, again, once Nadu comes out, the combo starts running amok. If the combo starts running amok, that's pretty much it. There's no, these are just safety nets. They're not exactly absolute perfect defense for this deck. So yeah, Nadu is because of how broken Nadu is, you could get away with this type of deck. I don't see this working with a lot of other decks. I don't even think this would work with Essex. The way this is with Essex, I might have to make a lot of adjustments, like lots and lots of adjustments, in order to optimize what I want to do with it. I might not even be able to Urzatron. It'll still be an Urzatron because, again, the Hydras are X mana. So Urzatron makes sense to have in this deck, but say a card like Simic Ascendancy and the Second Sun, I don't know if that's really worth the trouble, unless I can get more, unless these these search cards and draw cards and top decks, really ramp it up. But I definitely will need something to, at the very least, keep my opponent in check, and having these 7 cards for removal is not going to help out much. I'll need something like Boomerang or something, because green and blue don't exactly have the best of destructions. They're all about countering, so I might have to add some more counters, probably. Just at least 1 more counter, or get another good green SWAT card. Another green that can SWAT out a card. But green is very weak on when it comes to destruction defense, board wiping and so on. So overall, yeah. So yeah, that's the analytics part. So what do I need? So one of the things that I'm probably gonna need. One of the things that I would like to, where did I put those at? Oh, did I put those in here? I think I threw them in there by accident. Let's see. Yeah, here they are. They weren't supposed to come in here. We're not gonna talk about Skoa anymore. Reliquary Tower. Right now, Reliquary Tower, along with Spellbook, is very antithetical to Nadu, but I'm contemplating whether I want to throw this in there or not, because the reason why is because if I go through my entire deck, I got to leave at least 1 card, in the deck, so that I could be able to get to my turn if I need certain wins, especially since the creatures are gonna be Summoning Sickness when I'm done with the combination, and I gotta sit through a whole turn, and I could get board wiped completely. This is why Felon's Cane is important, because as long as I don't play Reliquary Tower, which will be forced out by Nadu's ability, it's gonna come into play no matter what. Felon's Cane, I can I can end my turn, discard my entire hand, well, all but 7 cards in my hand, and I could Felon's Cane at the end of my turn immediately and throw everything back into my deck. And throw everything back into the deck. So I'm no deck out. I have all my lands out, and I'll have free reign to play cards every time I draw on the turn. But it may not even matter, because if I get enough mana, enough lands out, then these 2 will probably come out. That means I could just pretty much have free reign and play basically my entire deck in my entire hand. And all I gotta do is just get these 2 out along with Primal Vigor and just throw in 1 Hydra. That'll create a 20/20 creature. That's it. And with Shadow of the Second Sun, I get another upkeep and I win. So yeah, it's pretty nasty. Overall, that would probably be the primary focus of winning this game, is to get those 2 cards out, which makes a lot of sense. But I wanted to play Hydras. I wanted to play Hydra decks, and this is actually a pretty fun way to go about it. But I'll have to see what'll have to happen. Definitely want to get Essex in there just so I could duplicate tokens. Any opportunity I can to duplicate tokens, so that I can exploit Shuko and Lightning Greaves combination with Nadu is a big deal. I'm not sure what else among green and blue could help out. Aside from the fact that I should try to find blue creatures. I should try to find blue creatures that doesn't have cost effects that can only be activated once per turn. I still got to find out about cards like Killer Whale. How many times will they gain flying? Will they gain flying every time I activate? If I could do it multiple times, then that's a big deal. I'm saying if I can activate them twice over, give them flying twice, for no good reason but to exploit Nadu, that would be awesome. But yeah, getting I could drop the Drakes. Saying if I could find something better, like Killer Bees, better among blue, that can activate multiple times. Replace the Drakes with those, so that way I can activate twice. Make sure that they target, so that they can do Nadu as a backup in case I can't get to Shuko and Greaves in time. I could at least work that out with Nadu and target pretty much anybody. That's what's so scary about doing the flying thing, because I could still target Killer Whale twice. Give it flying twice, even though it's redundant. But the point is to activate Nadu, and then use all the other blues to activate the other creatures, giving them flying, even if they already have flying, and make it, and just keep on, activating it. If I could get the other misforms though, I like the idea of the other misforms primarily because of the misforms, because I don't they're colorless. That's why I like them, is because they're colorless. Saying they're not difficult to do. There's no complications. There's no how you say yeah, they're very straightforward. There's no drawbacks to them. You know what I'm saying? There's no drawbacks to them, and that makes it solid, a solid go to work with. Quite honestly, you know what I mean? Just any two generic mana, and and I'll activate Nadu easily. They could target anybody, anything. So I think maybe if I lean into the misforms, I do have the misform Sliver. So that would be pretty freaky if I do that. Throwing the slivers with the misform sliver, and then let them all activate. Because I do have slivers. I still got blue and green slivers to spare, like the horn sliver, the muscle sliver, the wing sliver. So if I were to throw those slivers into this deck with the Mistform sliver alongside those delusion cards and any other card that can, yeah, that's pretty nasty. It's a pretty nasty thing there because again, it's free, and I could just keep going. If there are cards that can do that could do that, you know what I'm saying, like take advantage of creature types. Well, then I could throw in Hivestone as well. Actually, I could throw in the Hivestone and make all my creatures slivers, and then I could just freaking Mistform. Yeah, there's a lot of potential in doing that and exploiting Nadu all the way through with that. And but again, it's just one Mistform sliver. Kill the sliver off, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, it's a very high risk to go, but yeah. So there's still more I can do with this deck, and it'll be a it'll be fun until it's all over and it gets banned. So there we go. So comment, like, subscribe, follow, you know you want to, and head on over to Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Grab yourself a copy of The Impossible Man, a strange fantasy novel written by me. You'll find the links down for the book down in the description below, along with links to other merch such as pins, stickers, t-shirts, and music. Thank you all for your patronage. Enjoy the merch. And if you're interested, you can join me on my live multi-stream over on Kick and Twitch, Monday through Thursdays, 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to seeing you in the chat room. There we go. So until the next Deck Tech Analytics, thank you all for joining me. And I wish you all a good night, a buenas noches, and oyasuminasai.